right, James, I'm going to pass it over to you. What else we got?
Well, I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at what's going on with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And he's recently come out and said that the NFL and the referees give preferential treatment to the Kansas City Chiefs. And he said this on his podcast called It Needed to Be Said. And on the cast, he mentioned that the Kansas City Chiefs were aided by a controversial referee call. And this is a direct quote from Hill. The Chiefs and Jets, that last penalty call on Sauce Gardner, it was 50-50. That's all I'm going to say. It was a rough one. On close calls, they should just let the players play. So my first question is, sometimes fantastic play looks like they're cheating because of the talent. Do superstar defenders get targeted by offenders hoping to draw a flag?
I think at times. We just kind of go against. I know he was talking about that game, the Super Bowl game with the Chiefs and that whole defensive play when he kind of pulled the jersey. I have two opinions on this, right? So I feel like, I understand he just leaving that team, and I feel like it's some type of feeling he has there for that. But like I said, I don't, necessarily fully disagree with him. I feel like, the Chiefs kind of do have that better advantage at times, in certain games. So it's kind of 50-50 with me. I feel like him, if anything, he should try to support them, commend them, because, you on that team,
He won his first Super Bowl ring with the Chiefs.
Right.
And he made the decision himself to leave town for more money. And he even said it was so he could, help his own future generations, generational wealth. And that's important.
Right.
But I guess it is kind of rough to leave the team and then say that, things go more so their way than they do.
Right. Because it's kind of like, it kind of seems like you're a little jealous at that point. Because, you did win a chip with them. I feel like he should be happy for them. I feel like he should kind of lay low with the comments. Like I said, he's doing good with the Dolphins right now. Like I said, they can possibly be divisional Super Bowl contenders the way that they're playing. So,
that Super Bowl call too that they had mentioned, I'm the furthest thing that you're going to find from an Eagles fan, but even when I was watching that at home on TV, I was like, that looks like it was pass interference.
Yeah.
So I could see how there with the Super Bowl call, it's upsetting. And
right.
Sauce Gardner actually came out himself and said, it's real frustrating. I'm not even going to lie. The receiver ran into me. It was a collision.
Right.
Same thing that was happening all game, and they didn't throw any flags.
Right. No, definitely. It's unfortunate because they were back to back, scoring. I can see if the Chiefs were kind of up and they're calling. I'm like, okay, y'all were gonna lose anyway. But this could have been anybody's game. Do you feel like if they didn't call that, the Eagles probably would have took that?
I guess it depends because just a few plays later, anything could have happened when it goes that way. But judging by momentum and all of that, I think that was more so. I think that was more so the Chiefs there in that for that one. Then with this call and in this game with the Kansas City and the Jets, I think that this specific play it did have an outcome on the drive, but maybe not the game in general. But it was such a close game that.
Yeah, man. It could have been anybody's game. And honestly, I kind of was hoping for the Eagles because I feel like, we're kind of used to the Chiefs Super Bowl every year kind of type thing. I would wanted to see a different team kind of make it exciting. And I feel like the Eagles they'll definitely come back this season for sure. Hands down. But you guys, let us know how y'all feel about the whole Tyreek Hill situation and the Dolphins and just everything as far as that.
I know that wide receiver and quarterback competitions can be fierce.
Yeah.
Corner is one of the most difficult positions to play.
It is.
Do you think that there's truth in what Gardner is saying about he was ran into by the offender and kind of targeted?
Yeah, I feel like it is difficult to because you got to realize you have to keep up speed with that wide receiver because once he passes you, man, it's over with. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like it be moments where they gotta do anything to kind of keep up with them. So I think that is because you gotta have you have to back up and then you have to get into the running position. So yeah, it's definitely a hard position for sure.
I know with Hill, now he's saying this in a podcast where he's kind of speaking out about these plays in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the cases where I've seen it in real time on TV is especially with quarterbacks.
Oh,
and two quarterbacks I saw do it over and over and over, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. They both, a lot of times when they would get hit, and it was a clean, legal hit, they would appeal to the officials and say, hey, what's going on?
Right.
They hit, and then all of a sudden you'd see the flag come out. And it was something that happened so often that you'd actually you'd start to expect it from these players.
Right.
And you kind of wonder how many games went more so their way because they were appealing to the referees.
Yeah. Honestly, how I feel about that, I think they do kind of whine this time. It's certain quarterbacks though. Like I said, it's certain quarterbacks that like to take those type of hits. Like Patrick Mahomes, man. I was recently watching one of his Super Bowl games. I mean, they were tearing him up, but he liked it. He embraced that. This is what comes with my position. Honestly, I feel like it's times where it do be over the top hits, like if the play is over with and they hit them. But I feel like you cannot expect to not get hit. You're the quarterback. You're the main person that controls the game and how it ends up. So
I almost see it as kind of like a whining, because you can go back probably and see these quarterbacks doing it. And
Tom Brady does it. I think Tom Brady is the number one that used to do that when he was with the Patriots. Every little call, man, even on defense, when defense weren't doing what they needed to do, man, he showed a lot of emotion.
I wonder why that's not brought up more so, because for Hill to, I would say it's kind of unfairly targeting the Chiefs, because the Chiefs aren't asking for these calls to go their way. The NFL is just giving it. So, you didn't see this from Mahomes ever. You said he'd get hit and he'd get up and continue to do his job, but you never see him turn to the ref and say, "Oh, come on, that was horrible." That blah blah blah.
But see, the thing is, I see the difference is because I watched the Super Bowl game with them and the Buccaneers. They weren't getting any calls. The Chiefs weren't getting any type of calls, and they didn't complain. Patrick didn't complain or none of that. So I mean, I feel like it is kind of what you said, a whining type,
And I think it was, I don't know if Hill was on the team at that point.
At that time, yeah.
He might have been.
I think so, yeah. It was 2 years ago. But yeah, man, I think it's just, they're whining for sure.
So, do you believe that quarterbacks who are older will appeal to the refs more so than the younger players? Because, we had saw it with Brady and Rodgers, but we're not seeing it with Mahomes.
We're not, honestly, I think it is a difference, and we got to put in consideration, Tom Brady, six ring, he's definitely a veteran. He definitely looked up to him.
Rings.
Seven. To go back to the Buccaneers and end it off with a Super Bowl with them, they're looking at all of that, like I said, Mahomes, he's still kind of young. He's still, even though he's a Super Bowl contender too, he's still young, and I think age, veteranness does have something to do with it.
Do you think that there's any advantage in complaining to the refs on a call or a play?
Yeah, here and there. I think football has more advantage than basketball for sure. I think basketball is they don't really care. I feel like football, they're probably, they do booth reviews and they kind of overturn, basketball is like, you don't get the call, you don't get the call, so.
Now, I know they had even brought Taylor Swift into this whole thing.
Oh, man.
During the podcast, Hill had mentioned, then they come back and they get saved in the Jets game. And he's like, maybe it's because Taylor Swift was in the building. I don't know what's going on. Hey, whatever Kelsey is doing, I know you're helping out the NFL. So my question is, we had talked about Taylor Swift and the Taylor Swift effect on the NFL in one of our other videos.
Yeah, we did.
So now, if they lose, they can blame her, things like that.
Right.
Now, this is her getting credit for a win. Do you believe that she had any outcome on this specific game, the Jets Chiefs game?
It's looking like she's definitely being a good luck charm, and I think they're not gonna let up with this whole Taylor Swift thing. If she keeps appearing in the games and everything like that, I feel like unless they start losing or they don't work out, like say if they break up or they don't mess around anymore and she's not there and. Oh, well, maybe because, it's going to always be different little analogies, predictions, so.
I feel like that kind of muddles Hill's message, though, because, he's trying to say that it's the referee in the NFL. And then all of a sudden he brings Taylor
Swift in it,
he really
in the
doesn't have anything to
situation.
do with that.
Yeah, I don't think he should have kind of bring her in there because, it kind of makes you look, like I said, kind of the jealousy era. Honestly, I think he should just lay low. I think he should just keep quiet. Don't speak too much on her. But you feel how you feel towards your team. I understand, but yeah.
So up next.